Hey, this is Keena B, and welcome to Say Anything. Say anything.
Why can't you just say anything?
I'm gonna say anything.
People just say anything.
I swear, people just say anything. Welcome to Say Anything with Keena B. Hey, welcome to Say Anything with Keena B. I am Keena B. Thank you so much for joining me. This is a podcast about everyday life matters and real situations that impact your day to day life, from love, marriage, children, sex, weight gain, weight loss, books, movies, being an entrepreneur, grief, loss, fashion, politics, philosophy, and silliness. You name it, we talk about it and we'll talk about it. So, welcome to Say Anything with Keena B. So, today we're going to talk about something that impacts a lot of people. You all have had this happen to you, or maybe you are the person who does this. I don't know which you are, but we're going to talk about it. Those who take people's kindness for granted. People who take people's kindness for granted. And I just kind of want to dive into the why they take people's kindness for granted. I had a situation recently where someone I have done business with in the past um, asked me for something to purchase, and I let them have it as a courtesy prior to actually paying for it. And in this situation, the individual chose not to pay. They immediately came back with oh, I can't pay right now. Can I do it this way? And whatever the way it was that they wanted to do it, I was not comfortable with. So I asked for the full payment. And instead of just paying it, they just chose to pick a date that was more comfortable with them to do so, which, me being in a small business, means that I'm screwed, right? Because small businesses, every dollar matters. And most of the time, the dollar is spent before you even get it. And it also puts me in an inconvenient position. Like, I would much rather have the item still sitting on my shelf or on my wall, ready to be sold, than to have it in someone else's possession who promised to pay for it and then hasn't done so. And I think part of it was that they just figured I would let it go or not hold them accountable to it. I think also part of it is, and I hate to say it, but I think it was race. I think that they thought, because of who I am, what I am, that I would just take it, take it. Um, and it really actually hurts. It hurts my feelings. And when I say my feelings were hurt, it hurts me in the fact that this person felt the need, felt at all that they should, one, ask me, and then basically be duplicitous. Um, but I'm not hurt in the fact that, like, I'm not gonna go sit and cry about it. Like, that's not what I'm gonna do. That I'm not going to do. But just in I thought that reputation wise, I had earned the respect to not be duped like that. It's a lack of respect, basically, because I don't know if they would have done that to anybody else. I certainly don't know if they would have done it if I was white. Do you know what I mean? Like, I do not believe they would have done it if I was white. But mainly, ultimately, they took my kindness and they took it for granted. The last 6 months has kind of been that lesson over and over and over to me, that you cannot be this kind. You cannot be this kind. which is horrible because I want to remain a kind-hearted person. Um, and it's not like I'm giving stuff away to everybody. I'm not. Um, but I do have a generosity of spirit when it comes to certain things. And I thought I had chosen wisely, and I had not. I kind of want to get into the psychology of what it means to be a person who is a taker versus what it means to be a giver. Characteristics of an individual who you may consider a taker. Number one on that list is entitled. They are heavily entitled, meaning they feel like they deserve certain things, um, and people should just say yes to their requests or demands. They confuse your kindness as a right that they have, like they have a right to your generosity. They justify everything. I take this more than once because I wanted to be clear. Takers are transactional. And because they're transactional, really only thing you should ever be engaged with them is transactional types of dealings. Takers are non-reciprocal. That's a big clue. They do not give back. They don't show up when you need them. They only give when they want something. Takers are emotionally draining. They're what I would call a viper. I use that word a lot. People who suck the energy from you have a vampire type relationship with givers. They take and they don't stop even if they can see that the person that they're taking from is growing weary. People who are takers and take kindness for granted also typically have the characteristic of being selectively grateful, meaning they're only grateful when it benefits them, or they have to have the appearance of gratefulness. So the hope is that you would learn from it. What does kindness really mean? For me, personally, it is being open to and allowing, um, having an allowance, a tolerance, uh, if you would like to say, but really an openness to another person that would give them grace when it comes to situations as they occur, right? Um, a courtesy, patience, understanding, all those things, right? And typically for me, I offer kindness to just about anybody. I do not have to really know the person, but how I offer it is different. If you have come to know a person over time, you build to have a different levels of kindness. You step out your door, life does not go your way, okay? Um, because life is not fair, okay? It does not just hand out fairness. Things happen, right? That is why I believe that kindness is so needed and so necessary because life is not fair, because everybody is going through something, because um, we are all human. Um, the ability to be kind is uh, it's a strength. It's a gift. It is a gift, gift. So if someone presents you with a gift, what you do not do is be a bad taker. You do not try to fleece the person who presented you with a gift. There's a quote that someone told me. when I was in my 20s. So don't let life make you bitter. Don't let life make you bitter. And I didn't quite know what she meant until later on when I realized there are too many things happening at once that were going wrong, that I was beginning to feel like my heart was callousing, like I was just not I was building a shield. I was building a shield. And when you start putting a shield up, the thing about the shield is it shields from everything. It's not selective. So even harmless things I was shielding. I was shielding from interactions, from potential friendships. I was shielding from potential opportunities because I just did not want my kindness to be taken for granted. It takes a lot of strength to be a kind person. Have someone take your kindness for granted and turn around and still be kind. I think that it is a rare type of emotional awareness one has to have in order to be a kind person, knowing that people are not always kind. I do not have a manner of respect of person like you have a manner of respect of person on just basic human level. Um, it's an interesting space to be in. It's a interesting place to walk. Being a person who is intent and intentional and forthcoming about what they can and cannot do. You can't be done in business. You can only be finished with that particular issue. And because circles are small and communities are small, and things can run right back around again, right? So I keep that in mind. I'm still a straightforward person about what I expect, what I believe I deserve, laying out my boundaries. And then when people do not meet them, it's not for me to tell them how to behave. It is for me to adjust how I behave toward them. So, whatever kindness I showed prior, that kindness will not be bestowed again. That doesn't mean that I won't be nice, and what doesn't mean that I won't be polite. Polite is the better word. I will always be cordial. Now everything is transactional. Like everything we do is transactional and probably would have a contract. You see what I'm saying? Because I cannot trust your movements. Does that mean that they can't have an opportunity to remedy the situation? They could, but I don't. I don't think remedying it is something that is necessary because it's not going to change how I come forward in the future with that person. They've already proven to me. People go back to what is comfortable for them. What is comfortable for that person was to take me for granted. So in the future, if a situation came up again that was similarly aligned, it's 100% certain that they would do the same thing again. Um, and that's not to be pessimistic. That's just wisdom. Learn, learn from that individual has shown you who they are. They play the long game. You don't play, and once I realized that a person is a long game player, we just don't we're not gonna slide right back into that again. We're not we're not gonna slide away from that. Um, so I say this to say, I would hope whoever is listening that you can reflect on if you are being taken advantage of or if you are the one taking advantage. Okay? And either way, you got work to do. Either way, you have to learn to set boundaries, um, and immediately set them, um, to be clear and forthright. And if you are typically the one that's usually taken for granted, um, and then if you are the one who is always taking someone for granted, maybe you need to start being more grateful and taking ownership of the fact that you are probably hurting your relationships. You are hurting your relationships. So that's the podcast. What are your thoughts? Comment, like, subscribe, share, follow. And if you made it all the way to the end, put a red heart in the comments. I hope you have the most amazing day.